Scott, in a game like that, I guess there are a million things that you can point to, but when you look back on it, what is the element there that sticks out to you the most? I'm not even sure where to start.
I'm not either. So I'll work backwards. We made a three-pointer, started celebrating. They had no timeouts left. He drove down. We weren't aware. He banked a three in, tied the game while we're celebrating. Totally unacceptable and not professional. So we have to address that. When it got tight, in the second half, and you could see, Russell starting to pick it up and getting passing lanes, and we had trouble even kind of handling the ball. We just started fumbling the ball, got away from what we were doing. We still tried to, we tried to play hard again. And now obviously we had a lot of difficulty with both of those guys, and even, when Kevin hit the big three, we were just a little bit slow recovering out to him. But it's, the same as the other night. We played good enough to probably win the game, but when it's time to make plays, we're struggling right now.
And you've talked about the celebrating and maybe some of the bad habits that have been picked up over the years. How do you break those and how do you kind of push this team to kind of put those put what's comfortable aside in these situations?
I can't. They have to do that. There's nothing I can do. Coaching has its limitations, and we're going to talk about it for sure. We've already discussed it. We're going to keep discussing it, but for the most part, there has to, the players have to acknowledge there's no place for them. They have no timeouts left, and not that even Russell couldn't make it from half court, but we just let him dribble right at the floor and get a nice look at it. We weren't matched up, and give him credit, he made it. But I would like to have seen him make it if we would have been ready, and then you can accept it.
Coach, you had 50 points in the paint entering the fourth quarter and only 8 after that the rest of the way. How much of that was fatigue? Was that adjustments from OKC, or is it just the guys getting away from what was working for them?
No, I felt like Vooch made some good. He was really scoring obviously early, and I felt like he made some good, some good reads. They were getting down on him with help a little bit better. He passed some balls out. We weren't able to convert. But we had our driving opportunities again. We were at the rim quite a bit. We missed open layups, or maybe not open, but layups we should make. And it's something we need a lot of work at, because the guys are doing a good job of kind of hitting the seams and trying to get into the paint. But we've got to make them. Those hurt.
Scott, I think Victor made his go-ahead three at the end of regulation with 3.5 seconds left. When a player leaves, hypothetically, you could have played for the very last shot. In a situation like that, do you go to Victor and say, hey, go a little bit later? Is this the kind of game management?
No, we'll take a made shot right there, period. We were trying to get Victor to his right hand, and he tried to go right, and they kind of cut him off, and then he stepped back, and he got a good look at it, he shot it and made it. We can't wait till the end, really, and risk that. The guy makes a shot, we're up 3 points with no timeouts left on the other team. That's a game. That's a game that we have to have.
Scott, the way you played the first 3 quarters, a lot of cutting, passing, is that the way you have to keep playing? It seemed like that kind of changed a little bit in the fourth quarter.
It did. It's the second game in a row. Like I said, when it gets tight, we're still not fully trusting each other. And but it got tight. Not only the score got tight, they started turning it up. Kevin's always been a great player, obviously MVP type player, and so is Russell. But you could notice and you see Westbrook. He was going to try to go get this game, and we threw some balls to him. He tipped a ball in with 4 jerseys standing there. Nobody jumped. That's their other team's point guard. So he kind of willed them, into the position to win the game. And then of course he banked the one in and got it into the overtimes.
Hey Coach, obviously playing the Thunder, you guys know that you're going to be dealing with Westbrook and Durant. What did you guys work on? What did you tell them about dealing with them, and how did you gauge your team's performance against them?
Well, let's see. Is that 91 points between the two? So not very good. The reality is we're not at a point yet where we can make very many in-game adjustments. We're still working on the very basics of things, and we needed to make some adjustments tonight. We tried to make one about 4 minutes ago, but we just couldn't do it yet. So that's not where we are. And those guys are great players. You know, they made some great plays. I don't want to just like put it on our guys. But Russell just continuously going to the rim, going to the rim, going to the rim. We needed to take an occasional charge, block a shot, make him miss. Typically, when the other team's point guard is going to the rim so often, if you can make him miss, we can get a run out. But we couldn't make him miss. It was just, it was kind of a layup.
And obviously, your bunch is mentally tough, physically tough, but how do you keep this from breaking them, breaking their spirit after what's happened in the first 2 games of the season?
Well, we responded pretty well tonight initially after what happened the other night. It doesn't get any easier. I mean, you can, if you're a player on this team right now, you can look at it a couple ways. You can say, we played pretty well. We just didn't get it, and sort of let yourself off the hook. Or you can say we should have won both of these games, save for some silly mistakes and celebrating and things that we shouldn't do at this level. Put the pressure on yourself to get better, and sleep on this, be really pissed off, and come back and play better.
The last game, you also talked about the offensive rebounding issues. Again, tonight, it seemed like Oklahoma City was getting those boards. Is that a product of the decision to go small, or is there what else can the team do to pick those up?
We have to take a look at that for sure. One thing in both games, since we played well enough, you don't want to jump to too many conclusions right now when both games were kind of the same. Midway through the third, we didn't start the second half very well again tonight, and the other team starts to take control, and we're just kind of wilting a little bit. So I'm not sure that has anything to do with whether we're big or small, but the rebounding situation, we definitely have to address somehow.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.